going? It's going good with me, thanks. So change number 9 is skincare, and I started this change actually back in June, but I kind of skipped over it with my videos because I didn't have a skincare regime that I was actually happy with until very recently. I was experimenting with different things, and but now I finally have a set regime that I'm happy with. There are two issues that I have. The first I shared with most of the people that are watching, and that is loose skin. And the other is more specific to me, and that is keratosis pilaris. I say specific to me, but actually from what I understand about 40% of the Caucasian population has this. So either you have it or you probably know somebody who does. So I'll show you the before pic. Well, I'll show you an older video of mine which gives you an idea of what I'm talking about as far as KP goes. Okay. One of my problems with skin is that I have these little red dots at my hair follicles, and I just learned what they are. It's called keratosis pilaris. They're not itchy or anything. They don't really, I mean, it's not a rash that bugs you at all. It's just, you know, if I want to start showing more of my skin, I'm going to have to get rid of it. Anyway, I'll show you that. You see all these little, it's like this reddish here. Yeah, it's kind of unsightly. So I wanted to get the before view of that. Oh yeah. Well, okay, so this is my arm now. As you can see, I still have the dots. You can't see them as well. They look more like light freckles, but I'm quite happy with how that's turned out so far. Now, before I get into the nitty-gritty of skincare, I just want to briefly mention that most of my success so far at preventing loose skin is due to two things. First of all, I'm losing weight quite slowly, and secondly, I do strength training. Now, for my fellow weight losers out there that don't do strength training, if it's because you're worried about building bulky muscles, please don't worry about that. If you're losing weight, then you are definitely not eating nearly enough to actually accomplish that. But what it will do is help preserve your lean body mass, of course, but it will also build connective tissue to the skin so that as the fat leaves it, the skin has something else to connect to. It can connect to your muscles. Now, I have a lot of skin still, of course, but that's because I still have a lot of fat. But I don't look like somebody who was ever 350 pounds, and that is a huge success. And so far my skin has been pulling in at the same rate that I've been losing weight. So I haven't had anything sort of hang down lower than it did before, and I consider that a huge success. Okay, now on to the creams and lotions and all that crap. Okay, first of all, skin tightening creams. Last time I used those, or last time I lost a lot of weight, I used those like every day. I used them diligently, and they did nothing. I later learned what those are all about, and they promote the production of elastin and keratin, but what that actually does is make your skin thicker. And so if you use it on your face, it's like Botox. It pushes out the wrinkles, but it's not actually making the skin tighter. And if you use it on your body, it doesn't do anything. So don't waste your money on that stuff. Now, the regime that I do go through, the first thing I apply is Neutrogena's oil-free acne wash. The active ingredient is 2% salicylic acid. I hope I'm saying that right. Salicylic acid. And you can find that in the anti-acne area of your drugstore. Now, KP is not acne, but what this stuff will do is it will take down the bumps that are normally with KP. The skin is very bumpy and rough. It'll smooth that out entirely, and also it'll make the red dots a lot smaller. So this was the first stuff that I tried. I was really happy with it, except that it only took me about 50% of the way there. Anyway, I still use it. I put it on my arms, and then I brush my teeth, which is about how long I want to leave it on my arms. Don't leave it on too long. It'll dry out your skin. So, the 3 minutes that it takes to brush your teeth is about long enough. Then I hit the shower, rinse it off. Now in the shower, this isn't every day, this is about 2 or 3 times a week. I do pretty good exfoliation. There's, you know, creams you can get for exfoliation, but I don't use that stuff. If I can't feel it working, I don't believe it actually is. And loofahs and buff puffs and stuff like that are just not strong enough. So I use exfoliating gloves. It's like a scrubby on your hand. You know, you put it on your hand, and or actually on both hands, and you can be as gentle or as rough as you want to be. I've got pretty tough skin, so I'm extremely rough on it. You know, scrape off all the dead skin, and also I just try to, you know, I almost want to damage it just a little bit, because it's kind of like strength training way. You want those little micro tears in your muscles, and then it builds the muscle back stronger. And it's the same idea as far as exfoliating goes. You're damaging your skin a little bit, but then it regrows, and it regrows. You know, it shrinks. When it regrows, it grows tighter and healthier. Then after I shower, I moisturize. Now guys, moisturizing is not girly. Moisturizers are girly, most of them. This here though, this is a hardcore moisturizer. Lacthydrin, the active ingredient is 12% ammonium lactate. I know there's a couple other kinds of moisturizers that have that same ingredient. At the risk of sounding like a Pollyanna, after a few weeks of using this stuff, I almost felt like I found the Holy Grail as far as loose skin goes. Wow, it's just amazing what it does to your skin. At least for me anyway. It might work differently for you, but I'm just loving this stuff. And then after that, like I said, the Neutrogena took me halfway there, and then, you know, you can't cure KP, but you know, like the Neutrogena made the red dots a lot smaller, and then I knew that if I tanned, I'd be able to hide that a little bit better. And I was sort of on the fence all summer and early fall. Do I want to tan? Do I not want to tan? Because tanning, of course, makes your skin looser, which is not what I want. So I decided to experiment with a number of bronzers. And what I found that works nicely is this one. This is Lancome's Flash Bronzer. This, I guess Lancome makes a shiny one and a non-shiny one. I don't know. There's nothing on here that says that it's the non-shiny one, but I always ask the lady for the non-shiny one, and this is the one she hands me. Because it's always behind a glass case anyway, so I always, you know, have to ask the Lancome person for it. And this stuff, I apply it on one arm, then on the other. Then I go and I smooth it out so that I don't have the lines. One thing you want to make sure if you're applying bronzer to your arms is when you're doing the smoothing out, you know, over your shoulders and stuff like that, don't sweep over your elbow. The elbow's got lots of creases and stuff in it. It'll catch it, and you'll end up with like this big brown spot on right on your elbow joint there. So I sweep around the elbow, around that part of the skin. And I think it looks fairly natural. I mean, you saw it, and I don't think it looks orange or anything, so I'm quite happy with that stuff. And that is what I'm doing so far, and I'm quite happy with how everything's going. And so, yeah, have a great week, everybody, and I will see you next time. Okay, bye-bye.